Welcome back to another episode of the Watch Me Wholesale show. The way this works is I'm gonna randomly choose a market, then I'm gonna find a distressed property for sale, then we're gonna crunch the numbers and analyze it to figure out our offer price, and then I'm gonna call and make an offer. All of that and more coming up.
This video is brought to you by Flipster, the nation's #1 real estate software, with tools for finding, funding, and flipping houses. Check it out now at getflipster.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton, and I went from dead broke to millionaire flipping houses, and after doing 1,000 deals, I created this channel to help you master the art of wholesaling and flipping real estate so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. Okay, I've got the picker wheel up here with 10 markets chosen. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the spin button, and we're gonna see what market we're gonna do today. All right, Bend, Oregon is the winner. Let's look for a deal. Okay, so we're gonna go on to Zillow right now, and we're gonna look for a distressed property. So I'm gonna put Bend, Oregon, and in Zillow here, you can see here, it gives me kind of a map of the greater Bend, Oregon market, and it outlines that. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that boundary, because I'm not specifically looking for just Bend, Oregon. I'll look at kind of around there as well. And I'm gonna do something a little different. I haven't done this before on the show, but if you look over here on Zillow right now, if you look over here on Zillow right now, what it does is it's got up here agent listings, and you can see here other listings. So I'm gonna click on other listings, and what's interesting about other listings is it's gonna be things like for sale by owner, which I love calling on for sale by owner. In fact, I'm gonna try to find one of those. It might have auction or foreclosure. Usually it has a lot of new construction. So kind of more private type stuff that's not real estate agent related. So if I click other listings, and then if I click over here, kind of newest, you can see click newest. And then I like that because I like to call right away when something comes out. So you can see right here, the very first one here looks like it might be a good one. It's for sale by owner. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one. They have it at $215, and it looks like they did a price increase. So they increased the price $25,000. And this is by owner. It says right here, for sale by owner. And let's take a quick look at this property. It looks like it's got, looks vacant, but it's pretty clean. I mean, kitchen's kind of older. And maybe this is vacant, 15 hours on market, and it says cute, 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 amazing value, perfect for an investment or first-time buyer. Great corner lot, not far from a park. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, lots of charm and character, open area, and then here's a price to sell, and then here's a property owner phone number, right? So let's take a look at this one. I think we could maybe potentially go after this deal. Now what I wanna do is I wanna comp this property. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this as a favorite. I'm gonna duplicate this tab. Then I'm gonna close down the property, and let's zoom in now and try to find and make sure I don't have any filters in here. So I'm gonna reset all my filters. And this one's up in Pineview, so it's not right in Bend, it's like northeast of Bend. Little town called, not Pineview, called Prineville. Let me try it again. Prineville. So hopefully I said that right, you guys that are from this area. And let's see if I can find where we're at right here. We are right here on 6th Street. So we're right in here is our property. And let's see, let's put a couple filters in here. So I'm gonna uncheck everything that's not a house. I'm gonna go to my other filters here under the More tab, and I'm actually gonna put, we're 898. I'm gonna put under 1,000 square feet. So that way I put a filter, so we're not looking at stuff bigger. Okay, is that us? No. So there's like nothing for sale right now. One property, way overpriced, I think, at $275. Let's go ahead and put on days on market, let's put 12 months. And then let's switch this to solds, and let's see what's in the neighborhood. Okay, so here's our neighborhood. Now I don't wanna cross like up over here. I don't wanna cross this big road, 3rd Street. I kinda wanna hit this area right in here for comps. So let's see what we've got here. 252, look at this comp. This comp crushed it. It's 800 feet. We're 900 feet. Look how nice this is, though. I mean, nice curb appeal. Roof, windows, siding. This is look at this. Rehab. This is a flip. Now, it's small, but it's done really nice. And this thing got $252. It has a garage. Look at this detached garage. We do not have a garage. And we're not nearly as nice looking as this one. But this one crushed it. Curious here. I'm going to scroll down and look at our price history. Okay, so look at this. They bought this house for $71,000 on 10/18/20. They put it up for sale 2 months later. They rehabbed this thing in 2 months. Wow, 2 months, 60-day rehab at $245, sold for over list price for $252. Whoever this investor was, this flipper, they absolutely crushed it because this is nothing more than, I mean, tops with roof, window, siding, and all the inside, I'm going to say 75. You know, they're all in on this thing for $150, sold it for $250. Home run deal here on this flipper. Okay, but this is kind of nicer than we're going to get. We're not going to get $250 for ours. Let's see what else we've got. It's $165, $122. Here's a nice one, $235. Look at this, guys. This is more like our house, shotgun ranch style. It's 900 feet, 2-1. That's basically us. There's no garage here. Now, this is not a flip. It's lived in. You can see people's stuff, but it's updated. Everything's updated. Look at this. This is like a big, kind of a big area over here. I don't know if this is parking or what this is over here. So I like this one. It got $235. Let's see over here. We got a $245. No pictures, but that little house got $245. This one got $200, another little ranch like ours. No pictures. $217. Okay, now that's really dumb looking here and kind of a really poorly done rehab, but that got $217. And $197. Okay, this one's kind of a decent comp, $197. Doesn't look like they did a really fantastic job. I mean, it's missing the countertop. That's probably, got included later, but it's got appliances in there. Guys, I'm feeling really good about a $225 back end. I mean, worst case $200, but I think if you push it, you could get $225. Now, again, let me show you guys something here that really gets me excited about that number. If I put this back at active, there is nothing for sale. This house here for sale at $275 is the only house under 1,000 square feet for sale. So it means anything you come out with is going to get a lot of eyeballs because there's no inventory. Okay, so I'm going to go with a $225, and I think a rehab realistically is around. Let me grab a pen. I think a rehab at around $20,000. All I would do on this thing, let's go back to our house, is I'd put most of the money in the kitchen. I'd probably spend $6,000 on new cabinets and counters, appliances. Probably $8,000 would get you a brand new kitchen. I think I would probably refinish these floors a little differently. But look at this. I mean, it's got nice carpet in these rooms. That bathroom, maybe you could do something there. But I'd spend about $20,000, and I think this thing could. There's my pen. I think this thing could easily get let's say $225. So $225 ARV, $20,000 rehab. Let's say we factor in if you want to factor in carrying and closing costs, let's say another 15% of $225. So let's do the math right now. So $225 on a sale price. If I factor in 8% to cover closing and carry, that puts me at $18,000. And then let's say I want to factor in another 5 or 6% in carrying cost of financing times 0.06. That's another $13,000. So let's subtract all our numbers here, $20,000 on a rehab. So if I take $225 minus 20 in rehab minus 18 in closing and commission minus 13 in carry, puts me at 174. And now I just got to factor in profit. Let's say you want to make a quick 25 on this one. Puts me around 149, right? If If I want to wholesale it, then I got to get it even lower. So let's try to go in maybe around, I don't know, 130 would be kind of cool. 135, somewhere around there might be a deal. I think that would work. Now we're way over at 215, but they did do a 25K price increase. So that means they were at 190. Now they're at 215. I don't know what's going on here, but we're this far in. Let's call and see what we can do.
Hello?
Yes, hello. This is Jerry Norton. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Thank you. We were texting us for a second. I was calling about your property on 6th Street.
Yeah.
What was your name?
Jacob Piercy.
Jacob. Okay, great. And this is your property you're selling?
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm trying to move down to Roseburg, Oregon to be closer to my daughter.
Okay.
And I just need to, try to get this house sold quickly as possible. And then
Yeah, I actually saw it on Zillow by owner.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And it looks like it's vacant. Have you moved out?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, and I'm actually in the process of doing that as well.
Okay. Are these pictures current though that are on Zillow?
They are not current.
Okay. So what can you tell me about it? What's different about the property now? Anything?
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right. Now
Yeah.
I'm in a little bit of quieter place.
Sure.
So what the difference now is I guess you can say the main bedroom, we completely gutted it. So in that one bedroom, it will kind of show like the wood that kind of went around. Well, that's not there anymore.
Okay.
We tore the walls down, put new sheetrock up, and then put a laminate flooring in there. And that was kind of in the process of when my ex-fiance was moving over to Roseburg. So it's not 100% finished there.
Gotcha.
And then in the other bedroom, I tore the carpet out and just need to put more carpet in there, repaint the walls. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same.
Okay.
In the backyard, that shed's not there anymore because we had to get that taken down when we were purchasing the house.
Okay. Gotcha. How long ago did you buy the house?
3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, and so you're moving to get closer to family, looking to sell the property. Is there a reason why you went by owner and not with like a real estate agent?
Kind of. When I was on the Zillow last night,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know that was an option that you can actually sell it, yourself. You didn't have to, in a way, have a realtor involved.
Yeah, save on commissions.
And when I was looking at it, because I know Zillow's not 100% accurate on their, estimates and everything like that, and it was saying to get like realtors involved, closing costs and everything would almost, cost me, 20 grand. Granted, it might not be 100% right, but so I was like, well, it had an option there that I could sell it, myself. And so I thought, well, let's try that, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just kind of hoping that, something does come up and, someone be looking, to either purchase the house and then flip it or, purchase the house, tear it down, put something else there, type thing.
Sure, yeah. Well, certainly if you can sell it without a real estate agent, then that saves quite a bit in, commissions. Right. So yeah, that does make a big difference. And so I am an investor and looking at it as a flip, as an opportunity to flip.
And especially like right now here in Prineville, Oregon, a lot of houses, like, just looking at different properties that are, close by and everything. And what I put it up for was, asking, fairly cheap for it. And I think, honestly, I think it would be a perfect house for someone to, do exactly what you're maybe thinking about doing, is flipping.
Yeah, so can I talk to you about that? Because this is what I do for a living, and I've got the I've got like comps pulled up right now on my screen, and I'd kind of like to talk to you about that since you took a look at the numbers. Is that something I could talk to you about?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was an amazing flip that happened right by you on Garner.
Yep. We kind of knew the family that lived there, and they did an amazing job. I mean,
yeah.
It made me jealous.
Yeah, now that house is a little different though. It's got elevation to it. It's got that, hardy back or whatever, that siding, but they did like roof, window, siding. It's got a big garage.
Yep.
And then like all out on the inside. I mean, they opened up the floor plan, but it's still a 2-bedroom, 1 bath,
Yep.
But
it's more modern inside.
Right. And the elevation, the exterior elevation and everything is a little different. Now, there's another flip I want to show you that I was just looking at.
Is that one that's on, I believe, Elm Street, just down the road from there?
I'll look for that one, but I'm looking at 7th Street. Yeah, 293 Northeast 7th Street. Now, this one is very similar to your house. Like it's the, straight shotgun ranch style,
Mm-hmm.
And they did a complete remodel on this one too. So new cabinets, new counters, new appliances, new floors, new everything.
Yep.
It's also, but this one's a 3-bedroom, right? A little bigger, 942.
Right.
No garage, no garage, but it sold for $196,900.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that got $196,000. Now let me try to find. So here's one for $200,000. Also, this one's on Ewen, Ewen, right by you. No picture, so not real sure. But then let me see if this one. So this is another one on Beaver, right by you. 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 912 square feet, and it's got like this nice terrace thing, big garage and like open space. So, and that got $235,000.
Oh, wow.
But full remodel, right?
Right.
And oh, by the way, going back to that one that sold for $197,000, which one was it? The 3-bedroom I said?
Yep.
The flipper bought that for $110,000 and then did their thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it sold for $110,000 and then they did their remodel and then they put it up for $199,000 and got $197,000.
Wow.
Right? But
pretty good.
yeah. I mean, but then there's one like right on 6th Street here I'm looking at that sold for $165,000, but pretty clean. But then there's a lot of stuff like here's one on Dunham that sold for $80,000, but it's like full rehab, like really, really rough.
Yeah.
Another one here on Belknap sold for $120,000. And this one is kind of like, in my mind, I'm comparing this one to yours a little bit because it just needs kind of updates done on it. It's clean, it's livable, nothing wrong with it. It's not like falling down or anything, but would need kind of like a rehab done. Got it sold for $122,000. So I'm just kind of, I'm as an investor, it's non-emotional for me. I just kind of look straight at numbers and I'm just trying to use logic when talking with you about it. And then of course, you've got to do what's the right thing for you and what you want to do. But the benefit is I am all cash and I can close quickly. There's no mortgage inspections, I'm not coming back with a list of things. There's none of that you have to worry about.
Okay.
I cover closing costs, so it's pretty convenient. So I'd love to get something done, but tell me, I mean, what's your time frame? Like how soon are you hoping to do something?
Today.
Okay. And if
like I said, as soon as possible is better for me. Because like I said, I've been away from my daughter for almost a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go down there when it's my weekends and everything, and spend time with her and stuff like that. But I just want to be in the same town with her. So,
How far away is that?
4.5 hours.
Oh yeah, so you don't get to see her much.
Yeah, and it's like I said, because I work at Private Schwab here in town at the store. And so like we have split scheduling. So like I'll have 1 week I'll have Wednesday and Sunday off. Next week I'll have Thursday and Sunday until it's my weekend, and then when it's my weekend, it's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday that I get off. And so, every 5-6 weeks is when I'm able to actually go down there and spend time with her. But that 3 days just it don't
that's hard. Yeah.
And
how old's your daughter?
She's almost 2.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm missing out on the good times of the toddlers and everything like that. And, so
and this, as you know, this is the crucial time where you create the connection. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, yeah, I got you. I've got a 18-month-old, and I feel your pain just thinking about not seeing that little dude every day. That's hard. So I get it.
Yeah, no, it's really hard, and it honestly makes me depressed and everything. But I just keep waking up every morning and trying to do the best I can for her and benefit her life and everything like that. So
yeah, well, you're a good dad. Good for you.
Well, thank you. I deeply appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you, I'd love to try to do something on this. I would need to be, I don't know, quite a bit lower than where you're at, but if you're looking to do something super fast, how quickly would you want to, like, let's say we agreed on a price, how quickly would you want to close and get it done?
I can say,
for time to move and all of that.
I would say about I don't know exactly, but I would say probably about 30-40 days.
Okay.
And I can get everything out of there, cleaned up and everything, and then move down to Roseburg.
Gotcha. And you've got a place lined up down there, or you'll figure that out?
So I don't exactly have a place lined up down there, but my father lives down there. He moved down there two years ago, and I've been talking to him and everything, keeping him kind of in the loop of what my plans are. And he said that I could bunk up with him until I find a place down there.
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, so what you were saying earlier is very true. If the way to get the highest price is clearly to go on market with a real estate agent, because then it gets out on the MLS and you get a bunch of, everybody sees it, right? But like you said, you might pay $15,000, $20,000 in fees between commissions and closing fees. So that's got to be factored in. And a buyer that comes through, they all do inspections, and then they come back and they say, well, here's a list of things I want you to do. So then there's time and money, right, to do that. Yep. So, you do get more, but then by the time you net out everything, you might still even get more than what you could do with like an investor like me, but then there's the convenience factor, like, get it done, no hassle, and you're on your way. So, right. For an offer like that where we could close when you want, no closing fees, as is, what would a number look like that for you?
So I currently still owe $146 on it.
I see. Mm-hmm.
I believe the lowest I could probably go, because obviously I want to make a profit so I can buy another house. That's where I'm coming from. At least put a little bit of down on it. What would you think that would be your offer?
Yeah, great question. So you owe $146, so that creates kind of a limitation right there, because you obviously need to pay off your existing loan. Right. So no matter what you sell it for, $146 is going to go to pay off the bank. Mm-hmm. And then you walk away with whatever that difference would be, right? One thing to consider that I'll kind of throw out here, and this is an option that will definitely get you more money from like an investor, and that would be, they call it subject to. It's a creative financing strategy where somebody like me takes over your existing payment.
Okay.
and then gives you the difference, whatever the difference is in price that we agree on,
Okay.
in cash, right? So then you walk away with the same amount, meaning you got to pay off the loan no matter what. But then what it does is it makes it really a lot easier for an investor because, for example, let's say that I agreed on, 150, just throwing that out there. But let's say we said 150, or let's just say 156. If I took over your loan, that's 146. I give you 10, you walk out with 10. And then what that did is it allowed me to only have to come into the deal with 10 and I take over your loan. So it's kind of like, why take out existing financing with new financing, from an investor's point of view.
Right.
Either way, it's the same to you. You walk out with some cash, less the difference. The benefit though is I can pay more for a deal like that because if I tie up cash, there's always a cost to cash.
Right.
Because you tie it up on a deal.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes completely sense. Yep.
I mean, if I were, I don't know if I can, but if I were able to agree on a number that worked, is that something you'd even consider where I could take over your existing loan?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense though? Kind of like how that would work. So I would take it over. I'd make your payments. I'd pay the taxes and insurance. I'd do whatever I do to it. Obviously, when I sell it later, when I flip it and sell it later, then the loan gets paid off, right? So it would be short term anyway.
Right.
It would just allow me to get into the deal with less money out. So then I come in with whatever that difference is to you at closing, and then I would put money into the fix up, sell it, and then pay that loan off at that point.
Right.
Yep. So if that kind of makes sense, then might be able to do something that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I'm not really wanting to walk out with like $50K in my pocket or any, by any means. Mainly, I kind of want to just get the house sold, get it out of my name. So then that's one less thing I have to worry about, that's keeping me away from my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I would like to get a little bit of profit, so I could start up another loan and then put a little bit of money down so I could get another house while I'm down there.
Yeah, I mean, you will. It would require that you either wait or are able to qualify for a new purchase while this loan is still in place, because it would stay out there until I sell it and pay it off. Right.
Okay.
So when you go to buy a new home, this one's still going to show on your record until then.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So now if you're looking to buy right away, that may, based on your income and expenses and stuff, that may hurt you or disqualify you from that new loan.
Right.
So if you had a little time to wait, then, that would be fine. Like my goal would be to try to turn it in 3 or 4 months. So it wouldn't be that long. But I just want to be clear about that.
That would honestly, be something doable. Because like I said, my dad said he'd be more than happy, to keep me in for a little bit. Obviously I don't want to, bunk up with him for
long term.
Long term.
Yeah.
I already lived with them for, a while to begin with. That's, So, but I mean, that would be, pretty good. If you could get it sold, within that 3-4 months period,
yeah,
get it flipped, and then, do your process, and then, the loan would be, out of my name and your name, that I think that would honestly work out perfectly. Gotcha.
Okay.
And plus, I honestly don't want to go down there and jump into a house either. It does take time to, find a good house, and because that's a life investment that you're doing, and that was part of the reason. Like, we jumped the gun a little bit on this house, and we weren't really ever happy with it. And one time we thought about seeing if we could put a little money into it and then flip it, but things come up, and people leave each other, and so those options kind of disappear.
Yeah, and I see here you just put this up, right? Like literally, what, yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's brand new. Yeah. So it just kind of worked out good timing, for me to be looking in this area right here.
Yeah, absolutely. When you texted me and said that you're an investor, I got really excited.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I got to figure out here. I mean, honestly, if I were to do cash, I would need to be below kind of what you owe on it. So just because going in and spending all the money and then, to get 197 or 200, I think it could get 200 if you redid things, like put a new kitchen in and all of that, right? So,
right.
Yeah, so I guess the question really would be, my baseline's 146 because that's going to get your loan, cover your loan, take over your loan. But then, what kind of cash do you need to see at closing, and can I make that number work? That's, I guess, where we're at.
Right. Now, are you kind of talking about like the way that you're talking, you take over the loan and, let's say give me 10K for it or something like that? Is that what you're kind of talking about?
Yeah, definitely. So I couldn't do cash for less than 146, which would not work because you would have to pay off the loan and then there's nothing left. Right, you know what I mean? So I guess what we're considering here is if you're open to me taking over your loan, that puts me at 146, and then whatever the difference is would be my total price I pay. So if it's 156, then I pay 156, you get 10, I take over the loan, so I basically inherit the principal, and then we get the deal done. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Which either way, like let's say I pay 156 cash, you get 10 either way. Right? Because the loan's got to get taken off.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah, so that's just why I bring that up as a possible scenario that works for you and me, because it gets you some cash and I can pay more by not having to come up with the cash by just taking over your loan.
Right.
I hope that makes
exactly.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just kind of where we're at right now. I just got to kind of rerun the number. Do you know, if I ask you a couple questions about your loan, do you know that information? Like what's your monthly payment?
Right now, my monthly payment is just a little over 1,000.
Okay, so 146 is what you owe on the loan.
Yep.
And that 1,000, does that cover taxes and insurance?
Yep, that's the taxes and the insurance.
Okay, and do you know what interest rate that's at by chance?
That I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say when we close is either at, I want to say 10%, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, I don't, take my word for granted because I don't know exactly for sure.
No, if you did a loan 3 years ago, it's probably a lot lower than that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure.
But your payment's $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not behind on it or anything?
No.
Okay.
Well, I like a payment behind, and I'm getting a bonus next month on the 15th, and I was going to take all that, get everything caught back up, and start looking to move. Okay.
Yeah, because we'd want to factor in if there's any late payments or penalties, because all that would have to be current or brought current when we close on it, right?
Right.
So there's that, and the one thing that I would need would be for you to get what's called a payoff statement. So you just call your bank, say, hey, I want a payoff statement. They'll send that. That would show us the exact balance owed.
Okay.
And then that'll kind of let us know that number. But yeah, so I guess I just got to kind of pencil out here and figure out. I wasn't thinking this scenario, so I gotta kind of relook at a couple of things. I mean, how old is the furnace and water heater?
I believe the water heater is fairly new. I think they just put in, probably I would say maybe a couple of years before we bought it. I know they redid the whole electrical box and everything on that, because that is all brand new. But other than that, everything else I think is kind of maybe a little bit modern. It does have the gas fireplace in there.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to say that the water pump in the house is fairly new, because we couldn't figure out where it was, and finally found it, and it looks fairly new.
Okay. Well, so I'd love to see you put some money in your pocket and be able to have at least something to go into your next deal with, or to get your next phase of your life going here.
And I'm not really 100%. I would like to purchase another house, but if I could find something that I can rent for fairly good price, I would do that too.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to keep my options open to see what I can do.
Yeah, so I gotta sharpen my pencil here, take a look here, but I think what I'm trying to figure out, it's James, right?
Jacob.
Oh, sorry, Jacob. What I'm trying to figure out, Jacob, is if I could make 155, 156 work and get you like 9-10 grand in your pocket at the close. I don't know if I can. I just gotta kind of relook at the numbers on what I'd spend on the rehab, and then I got to factor in as well, commissions and closing fees to sell it and all of that. Okay. So let me kind of pencil that out for a minute here and see if I can make that work. But if I can't and I can only get you 5, is that something you'd consider too? I want to get you as much as I can. That's my goal.
Right. That was because it's still in my ex's name too. So obviously I need to talk to her and everything to see what she would kind of want to do as well.
Okay.
So like I said, I would have to talk to her, see what she would be willing to do too.
Okay.
I think it would be probably fine. But that's something I need to kind of talk to her.
Run by her. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when do you think you can talk to her about that?
I could probably give her a call tonight. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think you could call her like right now, and then we get back and talk in 15, 20 minutes?
I probably could. I'm about to take my lunch here in a little bit.
Okay.
So I can definitely talk to her on my lunch, and then I can give you a call back as well. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's try to do that, and let's touch base here. And I'm gonna kind of sharpen my pencil, look at some numbers, feel good about it, and then if we can talk again in 15, 20 minutes, let's see if we can get something done. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but give her a call and run that by her and see where she's at, or if you'd like to get her on the line, when we call again, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that might work out as well.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'll give you a call back here in a little bit.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
All right, I don't know. I got to rethink the numbers here. It feels pretty tight here to try to make that deal work. He's going to need something to walk out of this thing. I hope you guys kind of caught what I did there as I switched gears, went to subject 2. My cash number I was going to come in at, was 120. That would give plenty of room to do a rehab and get this thing sold. I do think the back end on that house, if it was renovated right, is $200,000. But these other rehabs in the area, if you remember, they're pretty good rehabs. They're new kitchens, new appliances, tile, and just done really well. So it's not like to get 200, I don't got to spend some money. I'm still feeling pretty good that this house is super clean, but it's going to need a whole new kitchen counters. That flooring's kind of like this pine type of cabin flooring. I hope that the market could live with that. I'd want to look a little bit, but these are also older pictures. It might not quite look like that. So we would for sure have a contingency to get eyes on it. We'd get someone over there to get eyes on it. But I need to kind of rethink these numbers here. I think if we just pencil this thing out, let's say it sells for 200. let's go back to our numbers here. Let's say it sells for 200. Right away, let's say that we factor in, 8% for closing and commissions. That's 16,000 right off the top. Let's say that we spend, I want to say, probably to do this thing right, it's only 900 square feet. I could probably get all that thing done and this thing shining for 20,000. So there's 20,000 there. Let's look at what the math looks like now. So if I take 200,000 minus, let's call it 36,000, that's 20 in rehab, 16 in closing and commissions. That puts me at 164, and I gotta pay him 155 or even 150, way too tight. Like, it's just too tight, it's not gonna work. The other thing I could think about would be, maybe I pay him 5, take over his loan, I'm all in for 150, and let's just say I could sell it for 175, and I do like a flat fee listing, so I don't pay much on commissions. 175, let's see what, I'm talking about a wholesale now. Let's say if I sell it for 175, which I don't know that it's gonna get, 175, but I'm still gonna pay, let's just call it 4%, 3% in commission, that's $7,000. Let's just call it 10, 165, no, it's still too tight. Like, we're a little too tight on that. I don't know if we can make this work, and even taking over his loan and not paying him anything is a little too tight on this deal. So I don't know, I'll call him back and walk through a couple things with him and see where he's at, but I don't know if I got room here because there's just no equity, which is another reason why it's so important that when we do this, we have equity. Okay guys, that was a tricky one, but super nice guy. Hope that was helpful to kind of see how I position things. Sometimes the numbers just don't work. More than anything though, I hope you picked up some tips and some strategy and got to see how I position myself, asking questions, overcoming objections, explaining to him a creative financing subject to. I did all of this, you guys, manually, freehand, no tools, right here on Zillow. But if you really want to kind of up your game and do this at a professional level, you really should check out Flipster. It's an all-inclusive deal management system I created that really helps you organize, streamline, and automate all the steps to flipping houses. It's got deal analyzers, a CRM, ways to keep track of all your things, digital contracts, everything to run your business and do it at a high level and an effective level. So to check that out and learn more, just go to getflipster.com. And guys, be sure to leave a comment and let us know what market you'd like us to see. We'll go ahead and add it to our list where we randomly choose markets. Maybe we'll choose your home market and do that as a way to find a deal. And also be sure to subscribe. This is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.